Let's get ready to rumble! Coming to you from the home of the fishingest bridge in all the world! This is Beach Talk Radio. This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Timeout in the heart of Times Square, you're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio. This is episode number 201, live from Peach Timeout, January 7th, 2022. And we are in Times Square, or soon to be called the Margaritaville District on Fort Myers Beach. And we'd like to thank all of our local businesses that make this show and the website and the newsletter possible. The Best Western, the Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Mangaritas, State Insurance USA, Sun Palace Vacations, La Ola Restaurant, Tuckaway Cafe, Blue Ribbon Events, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, Island Carts FMB, which is powering our 24-hour, 7-day music station that you can download and listen to on our app, and, of course, Peach Timeout. Later in the show, movie trivia with our friends from Beach Theater. The Community Foundation is launching their concert series. Sam Ankerson is from the Shell Museum. Danielle Garcia from Yoga with Danielle. And our story about the incident that took place after New Year's Eve on the bridge that caused the Lee County Sheriff's officers to get involved. How's that for a teaser?
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah. So right now we're going to introduce our first guest, Adam Rose from the Florida Department of Transportation. Adam is the communication specialist. Good morning, Adam. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it very much. Now, Adam, tell us a little bit about your job and how long you've been with FDOT.
So I've been in this district, in this area, for about a couple of months, but as the DOT communications, I've been for about 4 or 5 years now. I used to work in Panama City, that area up there in the Panhandle, during Hurricane Michael. So I have a little more experience in my communication job.
Okay, and so did you say how long you were there?
I was at DOT up there around 3 years, and then
awesome. Gotcha. Now, before we get to talk about the fishing pier, it's this camera here. You keep turning that camera. It's this camera here. I told you it was going to be this camera. We know that in early February, I think it's February 3rd, there's going to be a public meeting at the Chapel by the Sea regarding the Foot of the Bridge project.
Absolutely. It is a public hearing, and it's going to be about the San Carlos entire project on that area, which includes the bridge itself. So it's the public hearing allows us to get public comment about what the public needs, what they want, what they think about the preferred alternatives. Those comments are taken and pretty much indoctrinated, into our public records to make sure that we evaluate, thoroughly. We're giving the community what they need and what they want.
Now, what can the public give input and then changes might be made, or this is pretty much going to be the final traffic pattern that the residents see when the project finally does begin?
So it depends on obviously the level of comments that come through. It depends on, a lot of different factors. Obviously there's a need for helping congestion in this area. So this is something that's happening, but public comments always give us a good idea of what is needed, not just from our local government entities, but the private citizens as well. The general public is always something that we're looking at, trying to figure out what's needed, what's not needed, because we're not the ones that live there. We're the ones that want to listen to the people who live there.
As we were talking before the show began, one of the concerns, or I don't know if it's a concern, but the crosswalks in that area, you guys have obviously done extensive research in that area to understand how the crosswalks are going to work. So everything kind of meshes together with the lights and the crosswalk and the traffic and the bridge and the turning. So I imagine that a lot of the study goes into that before the final design is chosen.
Oh, absolutely. We do a lot of different studies in all of our projects. Right now, we're in what we call the PD&E phase, which is the project development environmental phase, where we take sound, normally like wetlands. I'm not saying for this specific project, but overall different projects. What kind of impacts go on socioeconomically, environmentally, what kind of animals are in the area that we need to worry about. So that's something that goes into a lot of this studying on this phase.
So Adam, have you ever seen so much planning and construction in such a small area? You got the resort going in, and you guys are going to be doing your work at the end of the bridge, and Times Square is going to be redone, and Bayside Park is going to be redone, and there's some work being done on the pier that we're going to talk about. But there's a lot of work being done in a small area.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very big growing area. I've visited the area several times. I've walked that corridor. It is a very busy area, and it's very fun. I love going to Fort Myers Beach. I love walking around, seeing the different attractions that they have there. It's always entertaining every time I go there.
Do you anticipate any issues because of what he was just saying about it being so small, getting equipment down there, keeping the equipment down there because it is so real estate is at a premium?
Absolutely. So what we in the construction side, construction's never a convenient time for anyone. But it's always something that people appreciate after the term's over, after everything's done. Currently, right now, what we're looking at, which is affecting many of our projects, is kind of the supply chain issue. That's something that has been affecting not just the Department of Transportation, but every construction group right now. As you guys saw, the cost of wood went up like crazy here the last year or two. So it's something that, even though it's not wood that we use, it's in general, those materials sometimes get hard to find, and sometimes we have to put them on delay. So it very well could be that. It could be the limiting of area and space, and trying to navigate those time frames so we're not impacting traffic at peak hours and peak times, especially during holidays.
So let's talk about the pier. Part of what makes Fort Myers Beach so unique is, we've got the pier out here that people come fishing on. There's 1,000 things we can list off, but that little hidden pier that we have for fishing and for kind of viewing, if you want to walk out and see the boats in between Nervous Nellies and Matanzas. So kind of take us back a little bit. Do you recall? I know. Do you recall how that became? Can you, for those that don't know, how it became a pier that was there in the beginning?
So to my understanding, the original bridge that's up there today was built in the late 1970s. It was before that. It was a drawbridge that, I guess it was a swinging bridge. I do apologize. And
is there a difference between a swinging bridge and a drawbridge?
There is. I don't necessarily have the. Yeah, there is a difference. I don't have the
technology
exact knowledge, but I do know that that bridge, parts of that bridge were converted into piers when the Matanzas Pass Bridge was built. That was something that at the time, I'm assuming the county requested. We normally don't build piers, we don't maintain piers, but we do try to, give a little bit of what the county wanted, because this was obviously before Fort Myers Beach was incorporated at this time. So there was some kind of negotiation that happened at that time, that they decided to put this pier into place, and that we could actually give back. And the DOT is always wanting to give back to the community if we can, and work on these little projects on the side of the bigger projects.
Okay, so it came to a certain point where it seemed like it was unsafe. Can you kind of bring us up to that point where it's not safe for people to go on?
Well, so what happened was, the DOT goes through, we always look through all of our bridges, the maintenance responsibilities. We don't, like I said, we don't normally maintain piers. When we build them, we usually switch them over to what that local entity was. Now, before the local entity was Fort Myers Beach, obviously things got switched over once they became incorporated. Now, we not 100% sure what happened, but when we went out to inspect the bridge recently, it was structurally deficient. That's what it was labeled as, which is why we shut it down. We kind of cordoned it off back in August. And we've been talking with the city and the DOT both came to the conclusion that it just wasn't, in either interest to keep the bridge or keep the pier up at that point. So what we chose to do was to just, remove the bridge for everyone's safety and the ability for the best interest of the city as well.
So prior to this, who was maintaining it?
The logical assumption was the county. And that was just because that's unfortunately because of how long ago this was, how things have changed and everything. There's been a lot of, uncertainty on certain items. And what we're doing is trying to figure out exactly, how to make the community better at this point and try to maintain the consistency of who would be maintenance and who would be maintained, who wouldn't.
Do you have any idea, you said it's structurally unsound. Do you have any idea the cost to get it structurally sound?
I don't have those estimates at this point, but it was offered. The DOT did offer it up to the city at one point to say that if we were to do the structural repairs, that the city would have to sign off on doing maintenance on it from then on. Unfortunately, the city said that it was just not in their interest to be able to maintain that pier. And so it was just a mutual agreement that the DOT and the city would probably just, remove the fishing pier.
Is there?
Okay.
It seemed like there's some folks that want to try and save it. Is it a dead issue, or what would need to be done in order to? It seems like it's such a unique and perfect thing for this community. Is there anything else that can be done, or is it a done deal?
At this point, it's a done deal. We've been in negotiations since August. We have contacted the city back in August, and we've had it shut down since. And the steps to remove it, we finally were able to start this week. Now, I'm not exactly sure what has been done at this point, only because I'm not out there currently right now. I'm not on the construction side or the maintenance side, so I can't tell you exactly what's been done, but the steps have started this week.
And what would have the cost have been to repair it so that it could? Did you already ask that?
Yes.
Sorry.
And he was saying that the DOT was going to repair it, but the town would have to maintain it. So I think your question is how much would it cost to maintain?
Once you repair it, what does it cost? I mean, what are the maintenance requirements for a pier like that?
I don't have those estimates on me right now, just because it never really went any further than just a simple talk. I don't have those estimates on me at the moment. So unfortunately, it was evaluated at some point. I can tell you that. But when it comes to a certain figure number, I couldn't give that to you right now.
Gotcha. So it's go ahead.
It's a concrete pier, right? It's concrete, or what is it made of?
Actually, that one I don't know off the top of my head.
Sorry.
Because sorry about that.
I mean, I've walked out there before. Have you ever walked out there? It is nice. I mean, it's nice to be able to get a view in both directions and just kind of hang out there. So it is kind of a shame that won't be available for folks.
So, Adam, do you feel like the communication between the state and the city was 100%, or there was some miscommunication about how it could have been saved?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. We gave them, we wrote out exactly what it was. We said, we have no problem flipping the bill for being able to make the structural repairs to bring it back up to standards, as long as they would sign over the maintenance agreement. And,
got it. And they didn't want to be in the bridge business.
Yeah, we like I said, we build bridges, we maintain bridges, but when it comes to piers, it's not something that we are typically funded for or authorized to really maintain.
Gotcha.
Normally that goes to local ordinances.
Gotcha. Now, lastly, before we let you go, we were talking about the traffic light. If it's okay, I can ask you about this.
Absolutely.
The traffic light that's back away from the bridge. The folks that are here will know what I'm talking about, because there's a green light and then a red light and a green light and a red light to get the traffic to go in a flow over by where the Shark Bar used to be. That turn there
on the other bridge.
And when that's eventually going to go away to a regular light, right? Can you tell us about how there's going to be some construction from that light to the bridge that's going to help with the flow of the traffic as you get to the bridge, from what I understand?
Absolutely. So this whole project that's coming up is absolutely dedicated to increasing the capacity, understanding how we can maintain our traffic flow better to prevent congestion. Obviously, we do 5-year traffic studies where we can look forward and see what traffic will be like in 5 years. What was it like 5 years ago? What is it now? And that information helps us understand that traffic's going to come regardless of what's going to happen. So we do have to make our edits and our basis off what that information gives us. So clearly the project team thought that it was a better idea to make that into a more functioning traffic light.
Yeah, because what you have now is you have people trying to time the light when they see it red on one side to get on the green side, and it doesn't always, I'm sure people just want to get to the beach as fast as they can. So hopefully everything you guys are doing will help that out.
We hope so. That's what we want to do. Like I said, our number one priority is safety. Our second priority is trying to make sure that people can travel from point A to point B in a timely manner with as least, implementations as possible.
Can you add another lane to that bridge?
I think it was being evaluated, so I'm not sure.
Right. Well, can you build a parking garage? You in the parking garage business? We could use one of those, or
unfortunately, I've never been in a project yet that's done a parking garage. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of what we could do, but that would be something we'd have to negotiate out a little more.
Tim's got a question. I don't know that it's for you, but it's an interesting question. Has anyone ever considered alternating traffic flow for the Matanzas Bridge, 2 lanes on and 2 lanes off during peak traffic times? I don't even know how you would be able to coordinate that with the county owning the road and then the state owning the bridge. And I mean, how would you even, they could do it. They did it for the New Year's Eve because everybody was just flowing off the bridge and nobody was getting on the bridge. Right. But it would seem like that would take a lot of coordination.
Well, and absolutely. And honestly, we do look at different patterns of the way things work, especially that if they're already implemented in the state. So whether that one exactly was looked at, I don't know. But if a public comment was made about that, they definitely have evaluated that comment. They've definitely looked into it to see if it was able to do it or not. Now, during peak seasons, we do take our peak seasons and, the snowbirds and all that fun junk, we do take that into consideration.
Gotcha.
We do know when there are hot seasons, we do know all of that area of when traffic increases and becomes a big problem. So we are aware of those areas.
Now, I know I said that was the last question. And I know these are probably very costly, but what about walkovers?
We are working on part of this project on the Matanzas specifically. I know is we are making we're widening we're wanting to widen the sidewalk, the shared use path, stuff like that, so that we can make sure that there are going to be a protected lane for pedestrians and bicyclists to make sure that, we do give that ability to walk over as a pedestrian. Now, as a separate walkover altogether, I don't think that was ever something that was capable, just because that becomes a new bridge at that point.
I'm talking about, thank you for that. That clarifies something else. But what I was talking about was where those crosswalks are going to be at the base of the bridge. Was it ever thought about to have walkovers there? So there's if you go to Las Vegas, there's nobody crossing the street in Las Vegas. I know this isn't Las Vegas, but there's the crosswalk. It's like a whole community up there. There's crosswalks everywhere. So was that ever part of consideration, having a walkover? And that part of
that, absolutely, we do look into things like that. We do have walkovers all around the state, just in different areas, depending on obviously the level of the road that's there, the level of the community. I'm almost positive that was evaluated, only because I've seen them evaluated several times.
Right.
They're very useful. Don't get me wrong, but in this case, the way the project team decided to go forward, or at least to what we call prefer it, is not to necessarily have that one on this specific project.
Gotcha. All right, Adam. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it, and I appreciate you giving us a clarification on the pier and an update on the public meeting, which I think is February 3rd, and it's going to be at Chapel by the Sea at 5:00, and people can give public input on the foot of the bridge, the Matanzas Pass Bridge.
Absolutely, and we always encourage people to come out, especially locals that are in that area all the time that are affected by this project. We want more comments. The more comments we get, the better it is. All the materials will be available on January 27th on our DOT website. So if they don't have time to come to the hearing, they can always leave a comment online too.
All right, Adam, have a great weekend. Thanks so much for your time.
You too. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye-bye. Adam Rose, everybody. He's the communication specialist for the Florida Department of Transportation. And we've got a long show. I'm going to warn the affiliates right now that we're probably going to run a little long this morning, folks, for episode number 201. But right now, I'm going to send it to the sidekick. Go ahead, dear. You got it.
All right, folks, you know what I'm here to talk about. Fort Myers Tiki Tours. Take a relaxing 90-minute tour around the Fort Myers Beach Intercoastal on a Hawaiian-style tiki hut. They provide the captain and the cooler. You provide the people and the fun, and bring your music and snacks, whatever you want to drink. You might see dolphins. You might see sharks. I saw one this morning. Wasn't in the bay. It was in the Gulf. But you can see lots of things in there. Maybe a manatee. You're going to be going super slow so you can enjoy yourself. It's very relaxing. It's great for any kind of celebration or team building. Go with your family. Go with your friends. If you don't have any friends, call me. I'll go with you. I've been. I love it. Give them a call at 239-887-0042. They take off out of Salty Sam's Marina, or you can visit them at FortMyersTikiTours.com and tell them Kim and Ed sent you, or just me. You'll probably get a better deal. But give them a call at 239-887-0042. Back to you in the studio.
All righty. Thank you very much, dear. A lovely job there. And what I wanted to tell you about was the Fort Myers Beach Friends of the Arts. You know, they've got the Rockin' the Concert series, and the next one coming up, January 13th, the Girls of Motown. The Girls of Motown are coming up on January 13th, and you can get tickets by going to Fort Myers Beach Arts, FMB Arts. You don't spell it out. It's fmbarts.org/events. Tickets are going fast. So you're going to want to stop on by that website and pick them up. February 10th is Earth to Mars, the Bruno Mars Experience. March 10th is Faithfully, a Journey and Eagles tribute. April the 14th, Shania Twang, a Shania Twain Experience. And all the concerts are held at Salty Sam's. Again, you're going to go to fmbarts.org/events and pick up your tickets. You see, you did all that camera moving before because I had set it up perfectly and we weren't using that camera. We're such an amateur shop here. You know, we go it on the fly and we try and figure it out as it goes.
We've got these new headphones, which I realized after
New Year's
we
Eve.
did the show New Year's Eve is so much better because I can bring my voice down. I don't sound so nasally. Hopefully, if I can
Is
hear
your volume
myself,
good? You're happy with your volume?
I'm happy with my volume.
All right.
I can hear myself. I
Danielle.
just look silly with these on.
No, you look fine. You look like a professional. You see, this is perfect now because John Lalo, you see, what's that? Oh, the drink's in the way. John says, how many banners can you actually fit in the camera?
It's five.
I was joking. You've got banners of Beach Talk Radio everywhere. I said, it's all about the marketing, John. You got to get the name out. So I said, we need to replace that Michelob Ultra thing on the door there because that's definitely free product placement. They're not sponsoring the show in any way.
Well, maybe we can encourage them.
You see, now you're talking softer too, which is, I don't think I like it that way.
Okay.
It sounds like you're talking softer, but you're usually yelling. New Year's Eve, Danielle, she was yelling and screaming, and it was bizarro. Wait till you hear the story about what happened after we left the New Year's Eve party.
It's so loud. You know, it's a party thing going on. So I'm really projecting my voice, and it was loud.
But enough about us.
New Year's Eve. You
That's
got
right.
to. You got to.
Gotta do a little woohoo every once in a while, right?
Danielle just had a baby. Was it a boy or a girl?
A little girl,
Yes.
Penny. She's out there right now. She's 5 months old, nearly.
You guys brought a whole table full of people
We
out
did.
there.
Two
Very
tables.
nice.
Yeah, we've got a couple tables, couple babies, bunch of adults.
Now, let me ask you a question, little off the side here. When you're having a baby and you're scrunching and you're pushing and you're going through all the, the excruciating pain, does the things in your nose, like, does it hurt worse in your nose when you
Didn't even notice them. There's enough else going on that this was not my awareness
enough what
at the
going on?
moment. Enough of everything else.
I see.
Another part of my body.
That I have to say, although we say there are no dumb
Dear,
questions,
stop whispering.
that was a dumb question.
No, how long were you in labor for?
37 hours.
Shut
Get
the
out.
phone.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
37
Yeah,
hours.
I did
Holy
12
moly.
at home and then finally went to the hospital and did the rest there. It was a lot.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Oof.
I mean, mine started and then stopped, but once I got to the hospital, 4 hours and done. Oh my, I
I don't
could
wanna
have
hear
never
it.
lasted that. Right. I could have never lasted that long.
37. I mean, do you take a break? Do you go to the bathroom? Do you
Oh,
take a
well.
nap?
Oh, there's no napping. I probably went to the bathroom. Honestly, I feel like my mind was in a whole different world.
So
at that
you're
point.
laying on a bed somewhere. It's been a long time since we had a baby. You're
Well,
laying on a
people-
bed for 37 hours,
I
longer
was
than a
walking
day.
around.
Yeah.
I was walking around. Like
Yeah.
I said, so the first 12 hours I was at home. So
Yeah.
honestly, for the first, I think like 6 hours, my husband was sleeping. I just let him sleep because I
Yeah.
knew that if it did take a while, he was going to be up with me for
I
the
see.
worst of
Sounds
it.
familiar.
So I was just kind of alone walking around the
Let's
house.
not go
and then
there. It's not
yeah.
about us.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this your first baby?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to have more?
Maybe the
Yeah.
first 6 weeks, I said absolutely not, never
Yeah.
ever.
How many more do you want to have now?
Max one more.
One more.
Yeah.
Why? What if it's another girl?
That'd
Wait,
be awesome.
wait.
Right.
Do you have a boy out? I already forgot.
No,
Is
it's
it
a
boy?
girl.
Little girl.
Two girls.
Little girl
You don't
Penny.
think you should have a boy to go along with the girls?
If that's what comes.
Yeah, I see. I see. All right. So yoga is your deal.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
how
Digging
did
a hole.
how did you get into the yoga deal?
So the first class that I ever took was years and years ago when I lived in Lake Tahoe, California. It was back in 2008. I took a class just because it was an easy class to take at the community college that I was going to.
Yoga was an easy class
It was
to
a-
take. I
well,
see.
I should say that's what I thought it was. It was an
Uh-huh.
elective class, and I was like, I'll just jump on the yoga class because it would be an easy credit. I
Well,
ended up
yeah,
loving it.
compared to maybe, physics or chemistry, maybe.
Yes,
So,
100%.
Connie says hello, by the way. Your friend Connie.
Oh, hi, Connie.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So you lived in Lake Tahoe.
I did.
Did it snow there?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot.
So-
Mhm.
Go ahead. So you took the class. He gets way off target.
That's okay. I
I
can.
And
did.
then was it an instantaneous love?
It was. Yeah, it was. Without going into too much detail,
Why?
you'll
Why
hear
wouldn't
why.
you go into detail? I see.
So I was
Stop
at that
kicking
time
me.
of life. I was like 18 years old. I loved the class. I was just in a 18-year-old place in my life. We'll just
Right.
call it that.
What does that mean, though?
That
really?
means I was just having an 18-year-old kind of life.
Yeah. So does that mean
partying
okay?
and-
Drinking and
Yeah.
was it weed or more than that?
Oh, you do not
Probably a
have to
little bit
answer.
of
Yeah. I
some
see.
things.
Yeah. Other than weed. Gotcha. So
And no, I was at the time I was not that confident, and honestly, ironically, the thing that was great about yoga is that it helped me with my self-confidence. But initially, because I loved it and people were kind of talking smack on it, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't love it. Maybe I shouldn't
how do
like
you
this.
talk smack? Sorry, but what is like yoga smack talk?
I mean,
don't
like,
think
what
you're-
are you, one of these damn hippies? You
I
know,
see,
what are you,
I see.
stuff like
I
that.
thought
It
you meant
wasn't.
in
It wasn't
class.
as mainstream as
no,
it is now.
No, absolutely not. And the people that I was hanging around with were, very skeptical on it. But fair enough. A lot of people actually still are, but it wasn't
Right,
as mainstream.
right.
That's
When
exactly it.
you're in a yoga class, do the ladies talk smack to each other like, yo, your leg's not far enough, or your dog is not downward enough, or is it,
I've
talk
never
smack?
heard that.
No.
I've never heard that.
Wouldn't
but
that be
perhaps
funny? Just
do,
people
but
breaking out and
they
saying,
would.
listen,
Whoa,
yeah,
come
you're-
on,
whoa,
step
whoa.
it up.
yeah. So you took a class when you were in San Bernardino, and then how does it advance to like you're like a major league instructor now? Like,
Well, so years and years kind of went by. I would trickle in classes here and there. And then finally in 2012, I decided I'm just going full in. So at that point, I had moved. Well, like 5 times by that point. I was living in Southern California, just staying with my mom for a short period of time. And I decided that I was just going to jump into this thing that I loved because I didn't have people, telling me whatever they thought about it. I got my own opinion for once. I fell in love
was
with
that
it.
part of the growing out of the 18-year-old thing?
Exactly.
And then I
Yep,
see.
Yep.
So at what age did you get the nose rings? Like early age?
That was the nose. I actually had a couple of other piercings the day I turned 18, but
Yeah.
they're already gone. I've evolved to the nose. Now.
In the nose, you
Yeah.
had other piercings. Oh, you
No,
mean
no, no,
elsewhere?
gotcha.
Other
Yeah.
places.
Places you
Here.
can't. Oh, in your
Oh no, right
in your.
here.
I see.
And then in my tongue when I was 18.
In your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, did that hurt
That's
when you
another
put
one of
it
the
in your
18
tongue?
things. No, it didn't. Felt like a sponge.
No, you said right here, like there's no scar or anything either.
There is. If
Oh,
you
there's
get
a
close,
scar.
I
I
see
see.
a
Yeah,
little.
yeah.
Yeah.
Little thing.
Yeah.
So you took those out because you grew out of it.
I grew out of
Yeah.
them.
Are you going to grow out of the nose things too, or
Maybe.
no? So it's a son or a daughter? I already forgot.
Daughter,
It's a
Penny.
daughter.
Little girl,
I
Penny.
gotta write this down.
We'll bring
Penny.
her
All
up
right.
here.
Can you just?
Oh yeah, that'd be neat.
You
So,
should get my husband to bring her up here.
Oh, your husband's here. I better stop picking on your nose then. So,
He does too. He likes.
can he do a handstand like you can?
He probably can, but he likes to play
You're
like he
jumping
can.
way too
Yeah.
far ahead. So how did you go to get certified? What is that process like?
So the initial certification is 200-hour training, which I did in Thailand in the beginning of 2014.
It's a
So
good
8 years
place to
ago.
go get it,
It
right?
was awesome.
Was
yeah.
it safe there, or is it?
It was where I went. So I actually spent most of my time in Laos and Cambodia and Vietnam, which was extremely safe.
You know, they make some super awesome pots in Vietnam. I don't know if you saw them making them
Yeah.
out there, but the pots from Vietnam, I mean, no joke. They're
No, yeah.
serious.
No, they have a lot of great handicraftsmen
Yeah.
there. It's incredible the things
Yeah.
you can get. Mhm.
So Vietnam,
Can
obviously,
you just let her tell the
Dear, you
story? I
can't
think
go-
people do want to hear the story.
you
So
can't
you're
run by
in-
Vietnam like you're in Vietnam. Where
We can
did
run
you?
by
Did you?
Okay.
Did you?
I'll come on again and we can talk about all the
But the-
places.
did you-
Yeah,
did you
let's
hang out
just
or-
do the-
Did you hang out at a rice paddy, or did you see any
I did.
Agent Orange or anything like that?
didn't.
No,
No. Rice patties, yes. Agent Orange, no.
no. Sorry, dear.
Getting close.
Okay, she's already getting the Todd Truax face on her.
I'm getting close. So you go there for the two, she's here to talk about yoga
Sorry.
and promote her stuff. And
I
you are
see.
getting off topic and target.
I'm sorry.
So 200-hour
Sorry, not
certification, but then that doesn't, you can teach, but you have to continue
Absolutely.
continuing ed.
Yeah. So technically you don't have to. Something that I find is really important
Oh.
is that I continue to grow and learn forever and ever. So by now I've done well over 2,000 hours of teacher trainings from different places kind of all around the world, different
Wow.
trainers. And the cool thing about it is the initial 200 hours is very broad. It's just kind of everything. Even a 300-hour training would also be quite broad. But then the cool thing is there's a lot of little like 40 hours here, 75 here, 100 here that might be more specialized. I really like the way the body moves and anatomy. I also really like what we refer to as the subtle body, which would be like energy and breath and things like that. So I've done a lot of trainings kind of more specific in anatomy and the way different bodies like to perform. And then also a lot of like that energy work, the breathing techniques, meditation, things like that.
Now there's a lot of different styles of yoga. Is that true?
True.
And so I think some people think of yoga as like, which there is, the gentle kind of more meditative yoga,
Yep.
but it's hard. Like
can
it's
be
a
hard.
workout.
Yeah.
That's what I think some people don't have an appreciation for.
I think you're right. Yeah. So you're right. There's a lot of different styles of yoga and a lot of different people that have kind of brought in their own influence of yoga and made it their own. I like to mix it up, to be honest with you. I really like that side of quieting our minds, coming into the meditation, the relaxation.
Hey,
more
there's
what
a
I
thing
veer
for
towards-
him.
Oh, yeah. You want to come
Quieting
to
the
I'm relaxing right now.
Yeah,
You
I'm
are.
quieting
meditating.
I do see
mind.
that. I
What,
recognize
what I see you have I see part of a tattoo there. What's the tattoo about? Is there some history to that?
this one
or-
here.
Yeah,
This one is actually, so this was back 18-year-old days.
I see.
There was a woman that tattooed for 24 hours straight without pausing, back to back to back, and she was raising all of her money for a women's shelter in Tahoe.
I wouldn't want to be the one that got the
In the
tattoo at hour
24th
24.
hour.
I
when
did
you're
not do
having-
24.
What
I
hour were you?
specifically, I think I was like 5 or 6.
I see.
Yeah.
And so
she's
what
still
is
prime.
what is that? You said, hey, just get in line. I want to be
A
part of
friend
this.
mine, her and I, we decided that we were going to go help support this cause.
What is
and
the? Is it a heart?
It's just a heart.
I see. What did your friend get?
A heart.
All right. So that has nothing to do with the yoga.
No,
I see.
nothing at all.
All right.
Nice try though.
So where is Danielle with yoga? I mean, where do you meet, and where's your office, and or is it a whole beach thing?
So here on Fort Myers Beach, I just started teaching down at the Women's Club. So it's at 175 Sterling Ave. It's about Mid-Island. That's open to anyone. So it's men, women, even though it is the Women's Club. Anyone can come. It's all levels is what I like to call it. And I like to explain what all levels means because I think it's important.
Please do.
It would be for people that have never really practiced yoga but want to get into it. Flexibility is one of these things. Oh, I'm not flexible. I can't practice yoga. But you don't go necessarily to get flexible. But also, if you go and the more you start to practice, the more you'll begin to access different lengths in your muscles. So I give you options if you're like, oh, I can't touch my toes.
Right.
We'll get there. And that's not really the purpose of it. On the other side, if you're like, I want to do handstands, I want to do arm balances, I'd give those options too. So that's honestly been one of the biggest challenges with teaching yoga is being able to cater to all people in one class. But with that being said, so sorry, that's Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. at the Women's Club at 175 Sterling Ave. But then if you're someone that's like, oh, I don't want to do something in public, or maybe chair yoga would be better for me because walking isn't that great or easy. Maybe I want like a really rigorous core strength building class and I don't want something all levels. I want it hard. I offer private classes. So I have a home studio, which if you see on my Instagram page, that's where I kind of like film all my little videos and stuff. Well, I used to, again, more so pre-baby. But also I'd come to you as well. I could travel.
You live
by.
on the beach?
I live just off the beach, opposite Target by Beach Walk.
So you have a home studio where people can come into your studio?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you teach classes, and then do you do stuff online as well?
I have a website where I have offerings online. So my website is yogadanielle.com. And then when you go on to, I think it's called purchases, I have about 100 classes that are online, and you could purchase different ones that would work for you. Yeah. So I filmed all those. And yeah, we could make
those are recorded. Do you do like live Zoom? Okay.
I don't at the moment. I might navigate that if there's demand and when Penny's a little bit older and doesn't require milk every hour.
Can you tell, before we let you go, can you tell us about this hot yoga thing? I mean, is this, you sit in this room that's 150 degrees and you're sweating and you're practically in one of those, what do they call those tent things where you get in there and people
like
come
a
out?
sauna. Yeah.
It's craziness. It's
He's
that,
mixing two things.
what is that tent thing that we saw in Yellowstone? What is that thing called?
Bikram yoga, but it's not.
What is that? Remember we saw in Yellowstone where they got in the tent and the Indian were folks were. What is that thing? It's people die from that.
Oh,
there, right?
You gotta be careful.
That's not yoga, though.
It's not yoga. It is different.
Yoga,
Maybe they're doing yogic techniques in there, but I don't know. Whatever they're doing.
How long can you do a front plank for?
Me?
Yeah.
So actually, when I was 13 weeks pregnant, that's the last time I tried. At the gym that I was going to, there was a competition of plank, and when I was 13 weeks pregnant, or maybe it was a little bit further along than that, I did a 5-minute plank.
Yeah.
And then finally, baby, even at that point, was getting
so heavy. Well, before that, when you're not pregnant and you're at your peak fitness level.
If I did more than 6 minutes, I'd be really impressed.
Do you think? Have you seen those folks doing
I'm impressed.
These people got yoga mats. Are you doing a class or something?
I don't think I'm doing a class right now. I wasn't planned to. I could always whip something out though.
Are they just props that you brought along with their yoga mats? And so have you seen these folks that do these like 24-hour these plank things?
Yes,
that can't be real.
It could be real. It's not an interest
if they
of mine.
put one of
I
those,
wouldn't call it yoga.
They should do one of those contests in those tents where it's like 1,000 degrees and see how long they can do that.
It's a separate thing.
It's where they're trying to get rid of the evil devils and all that.
It's a different thing.
No, but the hot yoga
Can
thing.
I ask
You wouldn't let me ask a
handstands?
question for the last 10 minutes. So the hot yoga thing is, what is the purpose of that? I mean, sweat out the evil minions of.
It could be. I don't know what the that's one of the newer styles. So what I will say is that where yoga is said to be originated was in India. And I will also say that the temperature there tends to be on the hotter side.
I see.
I don't know if those people that kind of popularized hot yoga were trying to come into that. I do know that fitness was one of the desired outcomes of these yoga classes. When it's hot, you're going to get different reactions in your muscles. You're going to warm up. But also, I would just say, because I'm on the cautious side of things, just to be a little bit careful with when you are practicing hot yoga, because your muscles are warmer without actually warming them up by strengthening.
I don't see any benefit to that crazy hot stuff, but what do I know?
So do you think, what are the limits for somebody to do a handstand?
Is that your baby? Is that your baby they're passing around out there? Not
the blonde one.
Okay.
Do you see my hair?
They're passing babies around out there like there's no tomorrow.
I didn't interrupt you.
We got to get the baby.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't know where she is. Where's my baby? Hold her up.
We got a whole table full of folks out there. Let's see the baby. Put the baby on TV.
My mom's bringing her up. She's being fussy. That's
that's okay. He's fussy too.
Yeah.
So can anyone do a handstand?
I would say anyone could try. I think that what it requires is a bit of strength, certainly. But honestly, the biggest trick that I give when I teach these handstand workshops and whatnot is that I think it's really important to focus your mind and slow things down in that way. It's not just about how strong you are. There's a physics aspect to it of balancing bones. There's a quieting your mind and ability to kind
I
of
can't-
calm things down a little
I
bit.
tried it,
I
but
can't
I
do it
was
either.
like,
I thought I was
"Ooh,
gonna
I'm
break
Look,
my
and I
neck.
am actually teaching. I
Yes.
think you're getting to that, but I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow on the beach at the Women's Club. It's a 2-part workshop. Tomorrow at 1:00 is part 1 of handstand workshop. Part 2 is on the 13th of February, also at 1:00, also at the Women's Club.
A handstand workshop
Handstand
tomorrow.
workshop. Yep.
1 to 3.
Okay.
And then again,
Yeah, it's really fun. And then
you
again
do
on the 13th.
you do both.
Is
right?
that your
Teach both.
is that
Yeah.
your baby there?
But I mean,
So
do
before
people
we-
come to both handstand things, or is
Absolutely.
it two
So
separate
They're-
ones?
So what this was initially was a 5-part workshop where
Okay.
and I did the first 3 parts already. These are the last 2 parts. So
Okay.
you could absolutely and should absolutely come to both. We build upon one another. in
Before we
those.
get the baby on, because that's got to be the grand
the
finale.
grand finale.
How can people get in touch with you and reach out to you and see all your cool videos and your nose ring and all that history of
Website is yogadanielle.com. So www.yogadanielle.com. Email is danielle@yogadanielle.com.
Lots of yoga.
Instagram is d.danielle.yoga.
the Instagram.
And then if you just want to show up tomorrow to the inversion workshop, just show up or contact me on one of those. And then I also have a men's yoga. If you're a man that doesn't really want to go to one of the public classes on the 30th of January at 10 a.m.
Listen,
You should
if
do
I
it.
do
have one-
yoga, I don't want to be in a room full of other dudes. It's got to be a mixture of men and women.
Come to
It's
that one
just
first. It'll be a
Come-
yoga
yeah.
class, and then afterwards a social. And you
Please, yeah,
do
do
it.
that.
Can, yeah, she's gonna
Do
make
that.
sure you come.
Let's
And
see the
everyone else can
baby.
Well,
join
let
in.
me ask the handstand that on your website. Where did you photograph that handstand?
Here comes the baby,
Because it
everybody.
looked familiar to me.
Was it this one
Ta-da.
right here? I did one right here.
Can the baby do a handstand?
No, it was definitely like your days out
Oh.
west
Lot
because
of
it looked
them.
like it was either in southern Utah or
could have been,
Zion
yeah.
or
I have so many photos.
Okay.
And it could have
It's
been
an
in
amazing-
Zion. I've
you were
traveled,
right
like I
on the
said, I'll come
edge.
back another time and I'll talk about the places I've lived and taken yoga photos.
No nose rings. No nose rings, Penny.
Oh,
baby.
oh my gosh. She is adorable.
We got to get a
You
picture
are
of the
adorable,
baby if it's
sweetheart.
okay. I'll make sure
Of
I send it to you
course.
first.
You're
adorable.
Make sure you got to put the microphone with the beat. No, not Pete's, not Pete's. It's got to be the
trying.
Beach Talk Radio side. Oh, very nice.
Daddy.
No, look, she likes the microphone.
We love babies.
Oh,
Thank you
she-
so much for coming
She's.
on.
I mean, you two are adorable, but
thank you.
wow, you are amazingly cute.
can give me a smile.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect
my gosh.
timing. Very nice, dear. Very nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
I will send
Thank
it
you,
along.
Penny.
Thank you for coming on and thank you for bringing the baby and good luck with the yoga. And tomorrow is handstand day at the Women's Club.
Tomorrow. That's the
Yep.
next event. Yep.
All right, thank
All
you so
right.
much. I'll
Thank
take that so you
you.
can have 2 hands.
Yoga with
Now-
Danielle, everybody.
When she's
All
when
right.
that baby, when Penny is super
Nice.
famous,
Yes.
she's gonna say she got her start
Yes.
with 2 people who are super old on Beach Talk Radio.
All right, you're going to get our next guest. I'm going to tell everybody about the pots that come from Vietnam. Vietnam pots at Beach Pottery, everybody. 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. 437-4211 is the phone number for Beach Pottery. They have pots, and more pots imported from Vietnam. Allowed to purchase them directly from the manufacturers, so they have the best pricing in town. She goes out to Vietnam. She does a little yoga in the rice paddies, and she picks up a whole big truckload of pots from Vietnam. There's over an acre of pots out there, thousands and thousands and thousands. Maybe you went to the breakfast on Thursday. The Chamber of Commerce had a breakfast out there on Thursday for their annual or monthly meeting of chamber businesses and chamber wannabes. And call them up, order a pot from $5 to $500, indoors and outdoors. 437-4211 is the number to call. 437-4211. And another quick segue to our next guest. I've been trying to get you to come on for a while, but it was kind of around the holidays and it was hard to make it happen. So you ready there? You got your
Thank you
microphone
very much
working?
for inviting me back.
Yes, Sam from the Shell Museum in Sanibel. And, since
So I just want to get it right. It's the Bailey Matthews National Shell Museum.
You got it.
All right.
So what is your background? I mean, how do you get a background in shells?
Right. My background's actually not primarily in shells. It's in museums. So I worked in
Okay.
museums in Vermont and over in West Palm Beach and just joined the museum this year to.
So there's what kind of museum in West Palm were you working
It's
at?
an art museum. called
Okay.
the Norton Museum of Art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used to live in Boynton
Yeah.
Beach over there, and
Okay.
Yeah.
very familiar with West Palm area. And so you come over here when?
In March.
March of this past year.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about the Shell Museum.
So it opened in 1995, and it's a terrific little natural history museum. Basically, the core of it is what's called the Great Hall of Shells. So the museum has about 500,000 shells in its collection. Not that many are on view, but there's 35 exhibits of shells in the Great Hall. And then what's new is what got added last year, which is a whole suite of aquariums on the first floor.
And I have up here.
Is that
what
the
is-
Octocam?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the Octocam. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've got a giant Pacific octopus at the museum, and it's an incredible animal. You know, octopuses are mollusks, and
Did you know that?
Of course, dear.
Do you know what
Everybody
the
knows
definition of a mollusk is?
Dear, I'll tell you later. I know
Uh-huh.
you don't know.
You don't know anything about conchology. That's what I know.
Oh, she was up late last night, everybody.
it's an amazing animal. Big. It's the largest species of octopus. Not quite full grown yet, the one we have, but it's already, it's about 12 feet across. And
there it is. It's
moving.
on the side. Right
Yeah,
there.
nobody can see that. It's
I
not
know, but
fair that
people
the
go
audience can't
if
see it.
you want to follow along,
Yeah.
right, shellmuseum.org. So what it is, the live stream Octocam. So it's an
Oh.
underwater camera that's in its tank all the time, and you can see it moving around.
People are
moving around.
amazed
Now-
with things like that. Like they'll watch that and they'll watch
Oh,
the
it's so
bird. What's the
relaxing.
bird that everybody watches? That
The eagles.
The eagles. They want to
Yeah.
see the eagles. They want to be the one to say, "I saw the eagle lay an
Yeah,
egg."
That the viewership on that eagle's nest is amazing.
Crazy.
That's
Yep.
actually part of the thinking we had in putting the Octocam in.
So my question is, how did you how'd you capture? I don't even know if that's the right word. How'd you catch the octopus?
There's a small number of essentially octopus dealers that are licensed to sell them. A very small number. So we got this guy from someone like that in Vancouver.
Now, I was reading that they're more nocturnal. So I went on at night, but you can't see it at night. So don't do that,
'cause we
folks.
turn the lights
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, wow, this thing is not moving at all. 'Cause,
They are more nocturnal, and they've got much different personalities. This is the second giant Pacific octopus we've had. This guy tends to like to sleep, and
In the day? Yeah.
He comes out, but it's interesting to see their different personalities. But they are nocturnal. You're right.
It's packed here today. The
It
crowd is
is
massive
packed.
here today. So go
Wasn't
ahead.
that? Did you see that? I haven't seen it yet. That My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's a great movie. And there's a book which came out a couple of years before the movie called The Soul of an Octopus. Those two things have kind of, I would say, elevated octopuses and sort of popular understanding and people appreciating them. And we actually have the author of that book,
Right.
Soul of an Octopus, whose name is Cy Montgomery. She's coming to do a talk on February 1st.
Yeah, because besides going to the museum and seeing all the amazing stuff there, there's lots of other things like the series of talks,
Yeah,
correct?
thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know he needs to. Where's the
It's
bell?
in the box. I
have
forgot
been hitting it
I'll
out
give
of
you a
the
bell
park
right
today.
here. I'll give you a bell.
Yeah, right. That's not the kind of bell. So go ahead, tell us about the series.
Yeah, so we have a range of programs, new exhibits and programs coming up for this season. So, but the lecture series we were talking about is a great environmental writer, and Cynthia Barnett. She's just come out with a new book on kind of the many ways in which shells touch up against human history and culture. That'll be on January 21st. Cy Montgomery, Soul of an Octopus, on February 1st. On February 16th, we have a curator of musical instruments from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York coming down to do a talk on shell trumpets. So shells were probably the first instruments.
That's kind of like
Yeah,
woo!
like the big
Okay.
horse conchs. They were
Wow.
probably the first instruments
We-
that humans were using.
We had Claire Beckman on
Oh, yeah.
last
Yes.
year during the COVID. She was in Sanibel, and
We learned so
it
much.
I had no idea that people are into shells that much, and she was just fascinating, explaining how into shells a lot of people are, and I guess I still don't understand why are people into shells so much.
I think, and I'm relatively new to the world of like conchology and shells myself, but I think it's what I see is it's a combination of kind of the collecting impulse. There's something about the
Yeah.
Sort of the thrill of the chase and being out in nature and finding them, especially I guess the more you get to know about it, the rare ones, and then the more you get to know about them, mollusks are a pretty incredible group of animals and a huge group of animals. There's over 80,000 species of them. It's the second biggest group of animals in the world after insects.
So you're talking about shells as live things.
No,
Is that-
the things that are in the shells,
Exactly.
I
So
see.
actually, when you a shell is just a part of the animal.
right? Yeah,
Closer,
there you
sorry.
go.
So for example, a horse conch, that's
Yeah.
not a name of a shell. That's the name of an animal.
There's a horse inside this conch. Some kind of.
No.
Some kind of mollusk horse.
I
Yeah.
see. I see.
Yeah. So yeah, they're animals, and the shells are just their
houses.
they're skeletons basically.
Okay.
So think of beaches as huge.
So people
graveyards.
collect these shells, and then they go home and they have a big bag of shells, and then they say, "What am I going to do with the shells?" And what are they? Like
People
Claire's,
put
I think
them
it
in
was
the
Claire,
bathroom.
but I
they
think
decorate
Claire's
with them.
husband, who was like, he was like, it was like contests of people.
Oh, and they trade them,
Yeah.
and they get there. And there's some very rare shells that go for quite a few bucks.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
So there's your investment. There's your
So
retirement.
Are you a conchologist yet?
I'm getting there.
Oh, so is there some kind of course you have to take?
No, I think so. There's conchology, which is sort of amateur, shell pursuit, and then there's malacology, which is where you get the PhD and you're
that's the
actually you're a
serious people.
scientist.
I see.
Yeah.
What, and you might have mentioned it, but I was looking on the website. Is there someone that's got some photography of these at night?
Yeah, this is a really cool exhibit. Thank you.
You are welcome again.
So there's something called blackwater diving.
Yes.
And what that is when people who like to do deep sea diving do it in the middle of the night. And the reason they do that is because they want to see the animals that come up from the depths to feed at night. And there are a couple of blackwater divers actually over on the east coast of Florida. They live in Lake Worth Beach, and they go do their blackwater diving in the Gulf Stream.
I have to say that diving, I don't know, it makes me a little nervous, but at night,
Right.
completely, I'd be freaked out.
I couldn't agree more. The whole thing sounds hair-raising to me.
I
but
give them credit.
They
They are brave.
They're brave, and so they go about 5 miles offshore, dive about 50, 100 feet down into the Gulf Stream in the middle of the night, and the Gulf Stream just sort of takes them. And they're also underwater photographers, so they got their cameras. They're seeing what comes up, and they photograph all kinds of sea life. But we just happen to be doing a show of their photographs of open ocean mollusks.
You really, folks, you should go and just take a peek. I would like to go over there and see that. I mean, I'd like to go over there and see the other stuff too, but the illumination, it's really
It's kind
impressive.
of otherworldly in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
How big is the museum?
It's about 7,500 square feet of exhibit space. So there's two
big.
floors. The first floor is just this new group of aquariums. The second floor is the Great Hall of Shells, which I mentioned, and also where we
What does the Great Hall of Shells look like? It's just a big room with shells everywhere.
Exactly. So it's circular.
Okay.
And you have a group of exhibits in the middle, and then sort of another group on the perimeter. It's 2 stories, and up at the top of the second story is a really cool cupola with sort of etched glass windows. But
Wow.
there's 35 different exhibits of shells in the Great Hall.
We're live, man. They do everything right here. They're dropping beers. They're
That's
serving.
great. I've never
They're flipping
radio
pancakes. They do that on purpose every
There
week.
goes
They,
a shell.
they try and break them, is what they do. So is it your job to go in and say, okay, this exhibit's been here long enough, I need a new one? And how do you find new exhibits of shells?
That's part of it. Yes, that's
Okay.
a good question. So we also have a curator on staff, a guy named Jose Leal, who is a malacologist. He's a real expert.
Okay.
He's been
And
there a while.
He's
Yes.
been there almost since the founding
Yeah,
of the museum.
yeah.
And he was actually he was executive director for 17 years.
I mean, I
and-
don't know him. I was just reading on
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
It
He's
sound like-
he's an amazing guy. But yeah, when you think about your exhibits and what are you updating, what are you rotating, that's a conversation that includes Jose. But yeah, we make those decisions, and actually, the Great Hall is something that we're starting to think about updating over the course of the next couple of years, because most of it's original to the opening of the museum in 1995.
How do you get your funding?
A range of ways, but the biggest way is actually admissions from people
Okay.
who come in. That's the biggest. Fundraising is a big part of it. Gifts and grants, museum store membership. Those are the main pools.
And I don't think we've mentioned this, but this is the only one in the country.
It's the only accredited museum.
Right,
So,
okay.
so there's an organization called the American Alliance of Museums, which is sort of the industry, sets the standards for the museum industry. It's very hard to get accredited. The Bailey Matthews got accredited in 2010. So there are other places. I think in Maine there's a museum of shells, but as far as a AAM accredited museum, we're the only one.
Where do the people come from that go to the Shell Museum to visit?
It's mostly people who are visiting, or vacationing in the area. About 90% of our visitors are from outside Lee County. We're hoping to change that a little bit, and actually something we've just rolled out with the start of this year, something we're calling Lee County Sunday afternoons. So every Sunday between 12 and 5, admission is half price for Lee County residents.
And
Wow,
what would that
big.
be? How much is that?
There's a lot of different kinds of discounts. So basically, our sort of our what do you call it? Our sticker price, I guess, is 24 for adults, 15 for teenagers, 8 for kind of kids down in that range. So it would be half.
Nice.
Half of that
Wow.
When somebody comes in, there's a tour guide. The person takes them through the museum, explains different shells.
Or is it self-guided?
It's mostly self-guided.
Okay.
We do have, as part of these new aquariums, we've got there's 2 large touch pools there. So this is where people can sort of talk to mollusks. So there's one which is kind of local species, and then another which is species from the Pacific Northwest. That's always staffed by our educators. So there's somebody always there to sort of talk to people about it. Every day, twice a day, we do something called keeper chats at the Giant Pacific Octopus Aquarium. That's where our aquarists, those are people who take care of aquariums and the animals that live in them. An
aquarist.
Yeah. You can get a degree in that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
You probably need one.
Is the octopus the biggest draw right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So what's the website that my sister put up the website for Yoga Danielle, which was nice. I'm sure if she hears the website for the octopus, is it octopus or octopi, or how do you? I don't want to.
The plural of octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah, is octopuses.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful the way you say that. I guess octopuses. So how many tentacles are on an octopus?
8.
8 tentacles.
How many suckers can they have? Is that what they're called? That's probably
they are actually. Yeah.
See.
So
Yeah.
what?
I don't know.
I'm gonna pursue an aquarist.
Do you know a lot about the octopus? I mean, what do they eat?
Not as much. They eat fish.
They eat fish
and crustaceans, and
right.
And actually we get all of the food for our octopus and actually all the marine life in the aquariums that eat fish and crustaceans from donated from Timbers
cool
restaurant on Sanibel.
Nice.
So I imagine
does the octopus have a name? Did you mention the name?
No, that is a very interesting thing. So
that'd be a great contest.
And there was a contest in a way. I guess a little over a year ago, the museum had a kind of a fundraising auction, a fundraising event, at which the rights to name the octopus were auctioned. There was a high bidder who we're eagerly awaiting his decision on what
How much did that go for?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
And they're agonizing over the name because you're still waiting. Like they can't figure it out.
Think
that's a heavy thing.
Or maybe they forgot.
That's a heavy anointing.
It relates to the long story.
I see.
Okay.
I see. So with 8 arms, I imagine something can fight off most
they're
prey.
called arms.
They're really, really, really strong. So one of their arms could lift any of us up.
Shut the phone. No way.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're really strong.
This octopi that you have in there now could do
Octopus.
that?
Yeah.
Is that a full-grown octopus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it's
there's
a giant
as
one.
part of the
Can it squeeze a human
It
right?
could. I mean, it doesn't happen, but theoretically, it could sort of grab you and hold you underwater and do that.
Oh,
Wow. That sounds like a movie in the making.
But it doesn't happen. But because they're so strong, the part of the guidelines for the aquarists, the people who take care of the octopus, is you can, when they're sort of feeding it or kind of caring for it, they can never allow more than 2 arms to be 2 of the octopus's arms to be touching them.
Oh, they're allowed to touch.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't climb through a fence.
I knew you were going to go
nothing
there.
like that. And
Another interesting thing about them is they've been known in other aquariums to escape from their aquariums night and sort of go off and go into another one and go hunting. And
so they're getting up on their arms and legs and just walking out.
They can do that
out of the water.
Out of the water.
For how
They'll
long?
hold their breath.
I don't know for how long, but
I see.
long enough to sort of get to another
Now,
aquarium and then get back to theirs.
If you get
That's
some
smart.
video of that,
Yeah, no kidding.
that is going
That
to
is pretty
be.
And
smart.
what we've learned, or other people who work in the field have learned, is the one substance that they can't sort of adhere to is AstroTurf. So that's why when you come and visit the museum, you'll see all the top, the edges of and around the octocam, it's all coated.
I
in
wonder who
AstroTurf.
figured that study out. I mean, interesting. So,
That's fascinating.
The Shell Museum is open when and what days and what hours?
7 days a week, 10 to 5. There's a handful of the major holidays where we're closed, but otherwise 10 to 5 every day.
And the website address for people to check out the different pricing is
shellmuseum.org.
Nice. All right, Sam. Anything? Did we miss anything? We
No.
want to make sure that we get everything across.
I
and
cannot wait to go. I'm
museum-
going to go on a Sunday for sure.
You're the museum director.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for coming all the way over to the dark side over here,
This is
Fort
great.
Myers Beach. I'm just kidding. We love it here. We love it here. And
Thank you.
Sanibel's super awesome too. We tried to do a show over there, but we got kicked off. She
Okay.
was,
We did not
she was
get
too
kicked
Well, if you
vulgar.
want
off.
to come do a show from the
Oh, yeah.
museum, we'd love to have you
Well,
there.
In front of the
I would love
octopus.
to come
we'd
out
love,
there
We would love to have you there.
and
That would be
and
awesome.
do a,
Right in
do
front of
a
the
clip.
octopus.
Yeah, I did that at Crow one time,
Dear,
so I would love to do
The
that.
thing, if we did it with the octopus behind us, is nobody would be paying attention to your silly stories.
Yeah, right.
They'd be looking
I'm
at the
gonna- that-
octopus.
I think that's a solo trip for me.
Oh, hey, you could phone it in.
Although we could throw him in. No,
You can't even figure out how to hook up the equipment. You're
I
too
just
busy
need to use a phone.
foofing your hair.
Oh yeah, right.
Did you find a parking spot okay today?
I found one eventually.
Okay,
yeah.
good. It's a bit of a challenge now because it's pretty busy.
Yeah.
All right, Sam. Thanks so much,
Thank you
man. We
so
appreciate
much.
you coming
Thanks for
down,
being
and
patient.
good
Yeah.
luck with the museum. Anything you need, and we'll be in touch to come over.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank
everybody.
you so
All right,
much.
Sam
Thank you, Kim.
Anderson
Thank you.
from shellmuseum.org. That's the name of the website to go check out.
How fascinating was that?
I didn't have any idea that there was an octopus. I have to be honest with you.
I was looking last night, but like I said, I couldn't see it till this morning. I think that is so.
I think it would be cool to do a
fascinating.
show in front of the octopus.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I need to tell you about Island Carts FMB.
What are you pushing me out for?
Your assignment is to always get the guests ready. But you keep forgetting what your assignment is. Island Carts FMB. You've probably seen them riding around the beach, everybody. If you don't call them quickly, they're going to be sold out because people are loving riding around the beach on the golf carts. It's cool because you don't have to worry about your car. You don't have to worry about gas. And you get to see more. And they have 4-seaters and they have 6-seaters. It's all the pricing is on their website, islandcartsfmb.com. You can call 844-FMB-CART. That's 844-FMB-CART. I want to tell you something real quick. Next Saturday, 7:30, I saw Jan riding around. I got to get with Jan Fleming. The other microphone's going to be Kelly's. Oh, they got it. Got you. Good call, dear. You're on top of things. We're going to take one of the island carts out and do a little tour in the morning of all the cool places like the Mound House and the library and all the destinations that you should come to when you come down to Fort Myers Beach. And that's going to be next Saturday morning at 7:30, and that's right before the show and before the Putt and Pub, which is taking place next Saturday. Back outside for the Putt and Pub, but it's islandcartsfmb.com, and you can go and check out the different pricing and see if they have any left. And they are powering our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week music station, which you can listen to by downloading our app. Whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android device, you can download our app right now. It's free. And then you just hit the play button and you can hear all the beach music. And there's not going to be 8 commercials interrupting the music or 10 commercials or somebody blabbing on from South Carolina that doesn't live here.
Might be you blabbing on.
Welcome
but-
to the show, Nancy and Kelly.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Yeah. And your radio station is amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you
I've been
very
listening
much.
to it. It's great.
We're always
that.
open to
Check this.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's
okay.
good. We're always
Yeah.
open to new songs. I added a song today. This Walker Hayes guy is killing it. He's the one that sings the Applebee song. What's
Right,
that
the
song?
Applebee song.
Yeah, his song AA is #1 on the iTunes chart right
think
now.
I
So I
missed
threw
it.
that in there. Yeah, you didn't miss that. The Applebee's song. Sing a little bit, Kelly.
No, I'm not a good
You know which
singer.
one I'm talking about,
I know
right?
which one
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah, but no, it's okay.
Everybody knows what
I
we're
think
talking
everybody
about.
knows which song you're talking about.
Anita's watching. She says yay for the Community Foundation. Of course,
Oh, thanks, Anita.
she has a lot of history with the Community Foundation, her and
absolutely.
Janine.
Yes.
And you guys are here to tell us a little bit about the concert series, right?
That's right. Go ahead.
Nancy Bouchard, who is the only dentist on the island, everybody.
Still, I am.
That's
yes,
right.
That is true. Hey,
I'm not going to ask you any questions about teeth or toothbrushes today.
And I was ready for it.
Nope.
Though. Hey,
I'm good. I've done that already. I've overdone that.
Yes, you have. Hey, we're having concerts. quite a
Yes,
few
you
times.
have.
Yes. Yeah, we're having some concerts up down at the other end of the island in the south end. It's in Fishtail Marina. The fourth Thursdays of the month for the next 3 months. And the first one is a tribute to Chicago. Pretty awesome, actually. It's going to be really
Coffey.
fun. Yeah, with Jeff Coffey, who used to sing with them for a while.
That guy's got a bushy mustache.
He's
really
got a great
bushy mustache. Like what's the TV mustache guy
You do
that has
realize
the bushy?
that's part of the mouth.
Tom Selleck?
So are you too?
Tom Selleck.
Pier?
Yeah, that's a Tom Selleck mustache
No,
right there. Thanks,
it's not
Sam.
that.
Take care,
It's not
Sam.
that.
It's from the Shell Museum. Did you know they had an octopus over there?
I didn't
I
know
just
they did.
heard
I've
it.
been there, but
Yeah.
I didn't know they had an.
What did you guys think about the tiger situation? Wasn't that awful? I mean, why? First of all, why are tigers in captivity? I mean, that's what I don't get. Do you really need to have a tiger in captivity?
Why did the guy have his arm in the cage when he
Right.
was supposed to be cleaning
Right.
bathrooms?
I know,
is
I know.
my
I
question.
think I heard that one had been, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone will point it out. Thank you. That it was born in captivity. So I
Oh.
don't know.
What's the
That's a
difference?
I don't know,
possibility.
but there's very few of them left anywhere.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's a huge. I mean, it's a huge loss no matter what, but it's really a huge loss when there's like 100 and something left.
At what point?
True.
At what point of the stage in your life do you realize that if I put my arm in the cage with a tiger, nothing's going to happen. Nothing bad is going to happen. At what point do you reach in your life where you think that's a good idea?
I can't imagine it ever is a good idea.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know when you reach that.
Have
point in
you?
your
Did
life.
you guys see Tiger King? I mean, it
No.
happened. You didn't watch Tiger King?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. So Chicago.
So-
Chicago is a very popular
Back to the concert.
popular band, and they had some hits back in the day.
Sure.
What's their number one hit, Kelly or Nancy Bouchard?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Chicago.
Don't know.
Yes, I don't know that either. I guess I probably should have.
I don't know.
You
what it
will
is.
after you go to the
Yeah,
concert.
I will.
We will
After I go to the
remember.
concert, I'll be able to tell you after that.
Can you name one Chicago song?
Oh my gosh,
Kelly.
you're putting me on the spot.
I'm asking you questions about the band that you're bringing. Come
Ah,
on, Kelly.
Chicago.
I don't know any Chicago
All right,
songs either.
somebody-
Somebody will know a
somebody will
Chicago.
know
Saturday in the park.
There we
Oh
go.
yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
Thank
That's
you,
a
somebody.
great song. Thank
Very
you.
nice. Saturday in the park. I wish it was the 4th of July. I don't even know if
There
the
you go.
is that the right
I
words?
think it was
Yeah.
the 4th of July.
I wish
That's
it was the 4th of
See,
July.
She knows.
We could do the warm-up band for the Chicago guy.
Nobody
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to hear that.
No.
No, we just lost 10 viewers right there.
So how
So-
many? Go ahead.
Who else
Yeah.
is on the docket?
The docket. Okay, the second the official names are the Caribbean
Docket.
Chillers. They're February 24th, and they are a Jimmy Buffett tribute band.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not that
You'll
one.
want to go to
Say,
that.
say that again.
Yes.
Who are they? Are?
Caribbean Chillers, February 24th. They're a Jimmy Buffett band.
Very cool.
And Atlantic City Boys in March 24th, and they are like the Jersey Boys.
Nice.
Yeah. And
How much-
tickets,
How much are tickets? You're-
Tickets are $30 and they're available on our website for purchase. It's fmbcommunityfoundation.com. And what you do is you click on the ticket, you purchase it. You'll receive a receipt in your email inbox and you print that off, bring it with you to the concert.
Oh, good one, Bruce. 25 or 22624. That was a good one too. That was a big hit. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Bruce. Yeah.
By the way, I'm
that
not
was a
putting
good
any
one.
Chicago songs on our beach station. I don't know that there
Color
were
My World. Yep.
maybe a couple
You can
during
Color
the
My
lead
World.
up to the show, but I don't know if
I
that
know.
fits
I
into
need
the
to, we
beachy
need
kind
to
of thing.
start streaming Chicago songs before the concert, so
Yeah.
we'll be
There you
able
go.
to sing along
And
when we
Janine
get
put
there.
up
Yeah.
the website.
Yep. Click on.
So-
yep.
Thanks, Janine.
Thanks, Janine.
So
Color My
people-
World,
Is
yep.
it going to be outside? Like
It's an outside
Okay.
venue. It is, and Fishtail is supplying the seats, and they're first come, first serve. But if it looks like rain, they're going to move it into the Propeller Lounge, which
okay.
yeah, so it'll be an inside concert at that point.
Where's Fishtail Marina for people that don't know?
It's on the south end of the beach
We've been
behind
there.
Santini Plaza.
Oh yes, we did a show there for. There was some kind of debate going on. No, it was a school thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they had a
outside.
concert there, but I think it was inside
Oh, yeah,
one of these big.
Yeah, they have like a big
Yeah, like
hangar.
a boat barn type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
the propeller lounge
Very
is.
cool.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, wow, it's really big in there. Yeah.
I know,
Nancy,
they're huge.
Nancy, with the shortage of all the supplies going on around the world, like lumber and things, are you having trouble with getting the false teeth in? I mean, is there a shortage of false teeth or no?
This isn't toothbrushes, so no, not yet.
No,
We're doing
good.
all right.
That's good because down here, the age group down here, that would be the worst thing that could happen if
It
the
would
false
be.
teeth.
Really?
Do you install a lot of false teeth?
No.
Oh, I see. Mostly
So
kids.
how old are you? That's
What?
Yeah.
People
No,
don't get
Anyway,
people here
so-
do bridges and implants.
Bridges,
and
yeah.
So there are a few. I
implants.
do it all. I do all of that.
I still haven't been to a dentist
Yeah.
since the Ali Frazier fight, but I digress.
I don't
Oh
think
my.
you should.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the concert series.
Kelly, you're
Please.
such a pro at this show.
I know.
Actually, she really
I have a
is.
little experience with this and you.
Yeah. So
anyway-
you're gonna definitely be a good fill-in for
That's
me when
right.
I'm
Oh my
gone. You will be good.
No.
You can
new
handle
work
these
for you.
reins.
Okay. Be careful of what you ask for, right?
That'd be awesome.
So
That would be great.
anyway,
You got the facial gestures. That was a perfect
That
one you
was a
just
good
laid out
segue.
there. That was
thank
good.
You. Thank you. I know
All
I
right,
don't hide
enough
much
about
with my
her.
No.
facial expressions.
All right, I'll let you say what you're
So
trying
that's
to
okay.
say.
That's all right. So anyway, you'll get the receipt in your inbox. You print it off, bring it with you to the concert, and then you'll get a wristband.
It's like
and that will
touchless.
grant you access to the concert.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
and we'll have merchandise for sale. This is our we
Got
are
a new
FNB
shirt
Live
there.
I like
t-shirt.
that.
Yes. This
I
is
love that design.
This is the more fitted V-neck women's version, and then we also have a white unisex version that's a crew neck, and it has the same logo on the front.
Can people see the shirts on the website?
Yes, they'll be on the website for
That's a
sale.
great
$15.
And all the
$15
merch?
for local.
You're still selling all the same merch that you
Oh,
were back?
we have new merchandise.
We've expanded.
And
Oh.
I brought new merchandise
Oh, very
to show
cool.
you.
Let's see it.
Well,
Bring it
yeah.
out.
Good
we have
time.
our FFB.
Yes,
Yes.
those are the classics. That's
And
what came
we
out
have-
first.
We have one of
We have one of
those.
Yes,
those.
you have
And
one
then
of
I
the
put turtle
tumblers.
stickers on it from the Marine Resource. Yeah.
All right,
Awesome. That's a
Anita.
great
Enough of the
idea.
peanut
I
gallery.
just got my stickers
Don't
too.
look.
So,
So
there's the.
I think I bought the
That's
first one off the
$30.
Yeah,
assembly
those
line.
are
Good.
you guys picked some beautiful colors.
Now, what's that?
This
That's a
is-
bag.
This is a
Hold
tote
the mic, dear.
bag.
Oh yeah, look at
That's
that.
like a backpack.
Backpack.
Take a
tote.
look.
Now
And
look
that's
at look at what
drawstring.
we did with our little with this. Logo.
Can't hear you, Nancy. Can't hear you.
Look what we did with the logo. We've actually added beach design
Beachy
into
Oh.
it.
And that's
So we've
$15
expanded the
I like
logo.
that
on
logo.
the website, 20 if you want it shipped.
Who comes up with your logos
Janine.
and stuff?
Janine.
Well, it's Victoria Leopold is a member that has done the logos for us in the
yeah.
past. She does an amazing job. And then we have Dave at Krusty Pete's who does our printing.
I can't find Krusty
and I know
Pete's.
where it is. I mean, I'll draw
they
you a
got
map
di-
sometime to make
Fine.
sure that you know
They,
exactly
they
where it
contacted
is.
me last week.
Clever stuff.
I don't know if you heard this story, but I was
Yeah.
driving around that loop down there because I,
mean,
wanted to give them
so
hats and
cute.
stuff.
Yes.
And then you got the
I
tank
love the
tops.
details in it.
This
All right,
is
dear,
a
enough about the
women's
back.
racerback tank.
Oh, nice.
Dear, put that on.
See,
Go
a
in there.
more
Go
fitted
change
tank.
out into that one there.
And that sells
That's
for
nice.
15 on the
She takes a
website
small,
also.
by the way. She
That
likes
looks
a small.
small, though.
Or I like the small on her,
That's like a small,
they're
small.
form fitting.
but that's a
Yeah,
different
they're
story.
form fitting.
Or if
That's
you buy a
nice.
bigger one, it's not so form fitting.
Depending on your form.
Yep.
And then
Oh
we
my
have the
gosh, they
beautiful-
have beach towels.
We are
So
FMB
here's the
beach
logo
towel
again.
embroidered.
Here's the
Wow.
logo again.
Those are 100.
We
Isn't
got
that
the stars,
gorgeous?
the different colors.
That
Isn't
sells for
pretty?
$35, and it's
That's
huge.
it?
It's more
Yeah.
like it's bigger than a bath sheet,
It's a bath blanket.
basically.
It is.
It's a bath
Basically.
blanket. Wow.
So yeah, so we have all kinds of new stuff that we're
Wow.
selling on our website.
This is quality. I mean, a lot of times there's stuff and you're like, but this high
Service.
quality.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's metal. Yep.
This is, I don't know if it's Turkish, whatever, but this thing is heavy
Yeah,
and this is
Huge.
nice. These
it's
are
velour
all really
on one
nice.
side and then terry cloth on the other.
Oh, you would not want to put this on the beach. It's too beautiful. Maybe you could hang it in the house like as
All
a
right, there you
decoration.
go.
On the wall, sure, you can do whatever
Yes,
you
as a
want as long as you buy
tapestry.
it. We don't care.
Starting to get
Yeah,
goofy
we're
now,
good
dear.
with
No,
that.
I'm telling you.
So for the audience, we always have some new members that listen to the show or watch the show that don't know what the organization is. Can you give us the history of how it started and how we got to where we are? Because that's a great story.
Thank you.
Who's gonna go? Originally, it was a women's group called the Pilot, and it's now about 11 or 12 years ago, the Pilot left, and then became the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation. And now we do so many events like these concerts, like
the
a
fashion show, which is February 12th. The Ed will
which
be
will be
broadcasting
so
live.
awesome. Anyway, well, anyways, that'll be awesome. It's going to be bigger. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres at it, but we raise money to give it away, and we've given it to so many organizations on the island. It's there's 30 to 35 organizations. One of the organizations we're still connected to is called ACT. It's an abuse counseling and treatment center for domestic violence women, and we're this Monday we're going to gather and stuff bags with health and beauty aids for these women and to bring it to them. So that's one of our things we do, but it's mostly raising money so that we can give it to the organizations that reach the people that need it.
And one of the things you folks were doing early on when the pandemic hit, when the restaurants had to close and the restaurant workers could use some help.
Right,
was
they were
talk about that.
Restaurant, but
Right.
yeah,
The hospitality.
Hospitality.
Yeah.
So talk about what you did there with the cards.
So two women, Anita and Janine, they came up with the idea, why don't we sell some T-shirts and give some gift cards to some, food gift cards. In the end, they raised $60,000 in T-shirts at the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was closed, and 100 and some cards went out to people. It was an amazing process. They worked with the foundation, and as life got back into going, we have now picked it up. So what we do now is we go to employers. So intriguingly, everybody who wants to be working is working, and that's who we're talking. We're reaching the people who are working but can't afford things like gas.
Everything is
working.
ridiculously
It's crazy.
expensive now.
I mean,
Your rent?
housekeeping and the kitchen staff and
Right.
people like that don't work on tips. I mean, I know that it's been a good season for the tip-based employees,
Right.
but there are people behind the scenes that don't get
Yeah.
those
That's
tips.
right.
And so
And we're
they're
going to tell a
still
story
struggling.
about that before the end of the show.
Well, you don't
Well,
know.
we
Yeah.
went to, so we actually, our members go to companies, and ask the managers, there's somebody that needs something. Because like we said, we don't go individually. We're looking for them.
Right.
We've had 71 cards this fall.
Yeah.
That we gave away for these people. There's still a need here on Fort Myers Beach.
And the
that's our
way you
mission.
guys do it is it's kind of anonymous, where nobody has to feel like, okay, you need money, here's money, and then they feel like, oh crap, now I'm
Right.
out in the spotlight. You figured out a way to do it where it was anonymous. If they needed it, they got the card, and nobody knew what was going on, and it certainly helped them out.
Very helpful.
Right,
they needed
We've
it.
had
absolutely.
people crying.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
been
absolutely, we
for
have.
the $50 food. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Now
And actually now they the team that's doing it for the group expanded it to its Walmart cards.
Yeah, we have Walmart cards as well as Publix gift
These have
cards.
to go back.
So it's
We did that before Christmas because we figured that would be kind of a help with the gift purchasing and one-stop
whatever they
one-stop
needed it
shopping.
for. Yeah, Walmart.
So-
And great.
So
Great
the
great initiative.
the fashion show on February 12th is a fundraiser with help from Anita and a couple of the shops over there. Talk about that so that people know what to expect there.
Sure, we have the Islander is helping us, Leonie's is helping us, Island Girl is helping us. They're providing clothing to the models, and it's going to be actually in Santini Plaza in one of the breezeways. And we're going to have chairs set up, and we're going to see about getting a bar set up and refreshments.
Well, that's an upgrade from last year. There was no bar last year.
So we're gonna check into that. Hopefully that'll work out well.
Well, if you have a bar, this is going to like triple the attendance
Oh,
from last year.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And Anita hosts it.
Anita hosts it, right? And then
she's awesome.
she really is. She's great. And then we have models.
I think
that
she used to be
actually
the
strut their
mayor,
stuff.
right?
Twice, I think.
Couple
Might
times.
look
Yeah,
through the
she
history
was.
of that and see.
Yes, she could verify that
yeah.
if she's watching.
Now she's
so.
on the LPA and
Yeah.
still giving back. She just can't stop giving back.
I know.
That's awesome.
Right. So,
But the
what-
other thing we do with it are the baskets.
Yeah, the
so we
basket.
have
I was
gift
just going there.
baskets,
Mm-hmm.
and we set them up at the library for 2 weeks prior. So January 30th or 31st, whatever that Monday is, they'll be set up. You go and you just buy tickets, and it's kind of like a raffle. You just put them into the
basket you're interested in, basically.
right, and then at the show, at the fashion show, we pick, so you win. And there's going to be. Oh, that was awesome. It was swag bags. It was a thing. I'd never been to one until last year, and it was amazing.
It is a lot of
It
fun.
was very fun, and those baskets were great. we're
So
gonna
how
have more
many
those.
years of school did you have to go to be a dentist? I mean, are you still paying off those bills, or is that taken care of?
Well, I was a dental hygienist for 20 years before I became a dentist.
Wow.
So Then when I went to
I had
dental
forgotten
school was another 4 years.
So
and
a
then-
dental, for those of the
6 or
folks
4 years.
like that don't know what a dental hygienist is, that's just somebody that cleans teeth, right?
But she went to school for that. It's a big training. There's a big deal to being a
So
hygienist.
you cleaned other people's teeth for 20 years.
20 years.
Before...
Well, I also taught. I taught at Boston University Dental School and at the
Oh.
hygiene school up in Boston.
I see.
And then I was like, well,
Do you
Let's
like
do something
teaching?
else.
Did you like
do.
teaching better or being a dentist better?
I like it. I liked all of it.
When
I'm
people
blessed with what I
like,
do.
I listen to the servers here, like before the crowd gets here, and they sometimes they tell us about some of the customers that really need to be kicked out. Do you ever get customers in the chair that are really, even our daughter, she works at a doctor's office, and some people can be really asses.
Amazingly,
Nobody on
I
the
don't-
beach is like that. Nobody.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, thank you.
On Fort Myers Beach, in my 4 years, there have been 2.
2 people. What are their names?
This place is wonderful.
What are
I
their
just-
names?
I'm
Call them
not
out.
kidding. We talk about it a lot. People come in, and when they leave, they're happy.
Well, yeah,
it's
for
a-
sure.
It's
Do
a
you
really
have
neat
the
place to be.
gas assisted?
I do not.
Okay.
No
because-
gas,
because We're
dear.
awesome.
Come
You're
on.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good. You can.
Yeah.
We
So
can
what?
do it.
Wait,
You're
what?
good. We can do this.
Okay, so what are we here for now? The
the
concert
concerts.
series. Sorry,
Yeah, the
Kelly.
concert series.
Stop throwing us off, Kelly. So the first concert is
Tickets are already on sale, and we've sold a lot already.
Nice.
So,
January
yeah.
27th is our first
Yeah.
concert.
Yep. So get
There's
online.
so
and
much
get
You
your
going-
tickets.
two are welcome to show up and broadcast if
what
If
day
you
of the
have-
week is that? Because she doesn't go out during the week.
it's a Thursday,
Thursday
night.
nights.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to rough it, dear. So
Doors open at 6. First come, first serve. We do have seating. You don't have to bring your own.
they had that Beach and Brews thing at Lovers Key, which
Oh,
was
sure.
like a Thursday or something, and I went and I thought I was gonna fall asleep. It was 5:30.
Not because
It's
it was
5:30 at
boring,
night.
just because you can't maintain.
No,
your,
it's 5:30 at night. It's
You
like,
need this 9 in the
ooh.
morning things, huh?
he
way
needs
in the
the
morning,
4
way in the
a.m.
morning.
It
Too
starts
early.
early, so
Yeah,
we're
if the
good
show is
then.
at
Sleep in a
4
little-
a.m.
Sleep in a little bit that day, and then you'll be able to stay up
Take
later.
a nap. So there's so much going on the beach. I mean, every
I know.
weekend now there's something going on with the Putt and Pub and these concerts, and it's just so much fun to be around.
It is. There's always so much going on. Honestly, it's just a blast. And we're going to be part of the Putt and Pub next weekend. We're actually going to be stationed at La Ola.
Yeah.
So for the
Oh,
Community
cool.
Foundation.
And the way that works, everybody, is at every hole there's going to be a different charity organization. So when you're going around and you're putting, you can donate and bid on things that are going to be at each hole, at each location. There are 8 or 9 different
Are
locations.
you going to
We
have
put
some
right-
of this stuff at yours?
Yes,
yes,
but
we are. We're
easy
going
to
to have
carry
it for
stuff.
sale.
Why aren't
Easy
you
to
going to
carry.
be?
Yeah,
Wow.
And our QR code. So you
Why
can
aren't
get
you
it
going to
right
be
there.
here?
Yes.
You could have been
Somebody
here.
else is
I
gonna
think
be
the
here.
women's club is typically with Pete.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they're usually that's the norm.
The women's club always wants to hang out with me. I don't know what the
Aw.
thing is. They're like magnets for some reason.
Yeah, that's
Can
you, a
by
real
the way,
chick
how long
magnet.
can you do a handstand for?
Oh, I cannot do a handstand.
never
been
Not
able
at
to
all.
do
I can't
one.
even do a cartwheel.
What about
so.
well, that's hard.
I know. Isn't
What
that
about
terrible?
how long can you do a front plank for?
Oh, I've never tried. I don't know.
You've never tried to do a front plank.
Well, so I've been at Bay Oaks on Fridays. They have water aerobics, but they have water like aqua yoga
Aqua yoga.
at 10
Oh.
o'clock.
Is a pool
in the
like
morning?
1,000 degrees hot? Like no.
No, unfortunately, it's
Oh,
not. It's a
it's-
little chilly.
Oh wow.
But that's okay. I love Bay Oaks. I'm not putting them down.
But a heated pool would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice actually. But I've done a plank in the pool in the water. but
Wait a second.
I know
wait a
it's kind
second.
of like cheating, but it's
Wait, how do
it's
you do
really
a plank?
fun.
How did you do a plank in the pool?
It's just you float.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I don't think you could do a plank in the pool because
You'll
you would have to be on the
you'll have to come
bottom.
to aqua yoga and try it.
How? That's a great question. A plank in the pool would be on the bottom, so you're not only doing a
No,
plank,
you
you're
do it on
holding
top.
your
No,
breath.
if you do it on the top, unless you're going to have weights on you, how are you going to stay down there?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, you
Anything
guys.
else, ladies, that
Oh
you
my
would
goodness
like before
gracious.
this really goes off the rails?
New merchandise. We already covered that. Putt
The
and Putt Crawl
website.
concert website.
Say the website. My sister will put it up on
No,
the screen.
Janine put it up,
Oh, Janine
too.
put it up. Oh, look,
Yes,
Janine's on top of it.
FMCommunityFoundation.com.
And by the
There you
way, speaking of Janine, who works also for or at the Beach Theater, we're going to give away tickets to the Beach Theater, and then we're going to tell our story about New Year's Eve, which was bizarro, entirely
how was it?
bizarre. New Year's Eve was great. It was walking across the bridge where something happened that it was almost like it
unfortunate.
didn't communicate like what we watched happen. But Kelly's got all kinds of
I
stuff.
have all kinds
Come
of
on,
stuff
Kelly. I got to have lunch by two today at least. What else you got in that bag? It's like Monty Hall down there.
Trying to find the ones that QR code.
We have our postcards now. We have a QR code to our website, so
Nice.
you can just.
So if
hit
you hit it
that,
with your phone, then
you're right
something
in.
happens. What happens if you hit it with your phone?
We have these cards
Okay.
at different locations.
Let's see what happens.
One flight up with the Murph stand, pop-up stand, and there's a QR code, and it makes it easier to get into our website to purchase the concert tickets or the merchandise.
All right, let's see how it works.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know. Oh, I'm not doing it right.
You just take a picture of it.
Oh, you have to take a picture. I can't. I only have one hand. I'll do it later.
He doesn't really do well with technology.
All right. So we will see you guys soon, right? Or
Yes.
We'll see you at the Putt and Pub at
We'll
La
see you at the
Ola.
Putt
We'll
and
come
Pub.
down. And
Wow,
so
that's next week.
that's right. And
That's
it starts at 9, I think, right? Or 10 or 11
Actually, 11 o'clock is when it starts.
11 o'clock.
But yeah, but
we start
everybody's
setting up.
encouraged to get here
It's a-
early to set up.
Folks, when you come down for the Putt and Pub, it's wicked busy down here. So you want to get down here early, have your breakfast, and then it's really a drinking game too. I mean, most
Oh,
of
it
the
is.
restaurants.
It's a
and-
blast. It's a
yeah,
lot of
but
fun.
it's-
If you haven't been, you need to come down. And
but don't cheat because there's some serious prizes that the
there
Women's
are.
Club gives
yeah,
away.
all the different nonprofits put together big prize.
Yeah.
And that's what you buy raffle tickets
Right.
to try to win.
And last time I talked to Dawn Thomas, I think they have around 15 spots left for teams. They will close you out if you wait to the last minute. There's only 40 teams, I think, that are allowed, or
That's right, 40.
yeah, 40 teams.
Mhm.
So sign up now at the Women's Club website.
Just to let people know that Putt and Pub, the proceeds go back to the nonprofits on the island.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody gets back
benefits.
here.
Everybody benefits from it. That's right. Everybody participates. So, yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
What are you
Thank
guys
you
doing
so
today?
much.
What are you planning to do today? What's
I don't
going
know.
on the
Here,
agenda?
let them go.
I know. Sorry
for
about that.
God's sakes.
I just
He
can't let
just-
them go.
No, it's not. It's not that he can't let himself go.
He
He
does
just can't stop. Here's your stuff.
Thank you,
although I
guys.
was
Have a great
like,
weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We
no.
really appreciate you having us on.
Before we tell our story about New Year's Eve, another great sponsor, the Farmers Market, Linda and the gang down at the Beach Baptist Church. It's going on now through May the 27th. So you want to go to the Beach Baptist. They also have one at Santini Plaza. And they have all kinds of different cool vendors down at the Beach Baptist. Cubana Cafe, Daily Delicacies, Squeezers, Love Muffins, Suncoast Coffee, which is delicioso. We have some of the coffee from Suncoast at our house. Dudley's Barbecue, Water Gems, Hooked Up Fish Market, La French Gem Jewelry. There's just so much great stuff down at the Farmers Market, which is at the Beach Baptist. They also have it at Santini Plaza. And if any of you ever decide that you're going to leave the island for a half hour or half a day or something, they're also at the Gulf Coast Plaza on Sundays. So check them out, the Farmers Market at the Beach Baptist Church. Don't forget to check out our music site, and any feedback is good feedback. If you're listening to the music station and you decide that the music, that song you didn't like and it doesn't fit, just tell me or tell us, and we'll make the change. And we're going to be adding. It's a kind of a slow growth thing with the station. We're going to be adding stuff to it when new songs come out. We're going to be adding those songs.
I got to tell you, I got nothing in these.
The headphones are not
Headphones.
working, and they're brand new.
Yep.
You nothing at all.
No, it was cutting in and out, and then now it's just out.
It should not cut in and out.
Nope.
Nothing like that should happen. So we will send it back.
Okay.
But maybe you're
There. See? Then you get it.
Oh, it wasn't plugged in. You got to plug it in.
I didn't. You set it up.
Okay. See, she can't even make her headphones work.
You set it up. All right. Well,
So let's tell our story and then we'll get out of here. So the New Year's Eve celebration last week was fabulous. I mean,
Yeah.
the fireworks celebration that the town put on was great. And the party next door at Margarita's on the roof was great. And the crowd here, we even came down here and the crowd was going on there. Terry had worked 50 hours that day. It was just crazy. She was here in the morning and then she was here at night. Dear people, you have to lead people into the story. I know you want to go home and take a nap, but then it's 1:15. We decided we're going to wait until it got later. So
you left out how great the fireworks were.
that was the first thing I said.
Were amazing.
The
Oh,
fireworks were amazing.
Okay,
There's
perfect.
the lady
Thank
with
you.
the baby again.
I know.
Look, oh, the baby's
asleep.
sleeping. Bye-bye. Thank you
Bye.
for coming on, Danielle Yoga Danielle. And so 1:15. Now, remember, the bridge was closed from 12 o'clock to 1:30. It was closed to coming on. Now, it was supposed to be closed to coming on. And then we were
Oh,
walking off the
yeah.
bridge and we were like, did they open the bridge? And so we saw a car coming over, and then we saw a police officer chasing him. So clearly that guy didn't get the memo. And
Yeah, I don't know how that car slipped through.
he must have gone. It didn't make any
I don't
sense. They
know.
had everything blocked off. But anyway, so we're walking over the bridge. And there's like 4 or 5 kids. And when I say kids, they're in their 20s. They didn't know the bridge was going to be closed. So they thought they were going to be able to be picked up. And they're staggering around, but they're having a good time. And we're chatting. And then we pass them and we come up to this couple who are walking. Pretty much they're blocking everything. So, and I want it to be clear that I was 100% sober because I had a nuclear migraine that entire night.
Did.
And even when we got here, I was trying to sleep it off in the car just to see if I could make it go away. So I'm 100% sober. And I'm guessing on New Year's Eve, most people are not. So this older couple is walking now, blocking the walkway to get to the bridge.
Older.
Go ahead. Well, they were
weren't
older than the kids. They were our age. They were our age, and maybe in their 40s.
Younger. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Go ahead. What did you
No,
want
go
to say?
ahead.
And so now the bridge is blocked off. So the workers, I believe they're workers, were coming back and forth on their bikes. And so the first time somebody was trying to come over the bridge to get to the island on his bike, and the 2 people that were blocking the walkway wouldn't move. They wouldn't move out of the guy's way. So the guy had to lean his bike up against the side and wait until they walked by him. So he did that and he didn't complain. So now I hear what the guy is saying. The guy is saying, oh, those people need to learn how to speak English. They need to, in our country, they need to learn how to speak English. And I'm going to teach them. And I'm going to teach them how to speak English. Okay. I didn't say anything because I'm 100% sober and I don't want to start any ruckus. I don't have any trouble on New Year's Eve. Now a bicyclist is coming from this side probably going home. And he's ringing his bell and he's being polite.
Very gently.
He's going
Very
fast enough
gently.
so he doesn't fall off the bike. That's how fast he was going.
He was on the bike. He was kind of walking
Right.
it with he was sitting on the bike.
But what I'm saying, he was going super slow. He wasn't trying to.
Aggressive with
No, he was big. He was
just like,
yeah, he was
ding.
ding. He had one of those ding ding bells. It wasn't like
Right.
He wasn't doing anything like that.
Very appropriate, very polite.
So he passes us. We get out of his way. Now he gets up to the couple that wouldn't get out of the way. And before you know it, the guy turns around and with both hands, he slams the guy on the bike into the side of the bridge, almost knocking him over the bridge into what would have been the cement. We were that far over away from the water, completely out of the blue, double hands the guy.
Completely unprovoked.
And I was like, that's the kind of thing that you see and it doesn't really compute. Did that guy just hit this kid for no reason because he doesn't like that he's Hispanic or whatever it was? And it just threw the whole crowd into a frenzy. Of course, the first one getting in his grill is not me. I turn around, and by the time I turn around, she's already in his grill trying to give him crap about hitting somebody like that. It was so bizarre. Now, what is the first thing a person wants to do when they see another person hit somebody like that for no reason? You want to clock the guy because
no. But I just think, I mean, the guy was trying to recover himself, and I think it was just so shocking, and it was so unprovoked, and I just think you have to stand up for people.
I agree.
And you can't just ignore behavior like that because it just lets it continue. And you have to say, hey, as a society, we don't just go around and start hitting people like that. He was not receptive to my feedback.
No,
let's put it that way.
No. And so I didn't hit him or anything like that. And somebody grabbed me because I was trying to get you away from him. And so then I was getting in his face, but I was 100% sober. So I made sure I was trying to not do anything crazy. And so somebody grabbed me, and now all the people are like trying to say, why are we doing that? And then of course there's 50 sheriff's deputies right there in the road because they blocked the bridge off. Somebody calls the sheriff's deputies over to try and figure out what's going on. It was a little bit of a commotion. And so now the sheriff's deputy is asking the guy what happened after we tried to tell him he attacked this guy for no reason. So what does the guy say? I was attacked. Totally turned it into a lie. He totally turned it, make it sound like he was the victim. And, back in the old days, as the mayor would say, there's different ways of handling that. That guy should have got a punch to the face.
Well, I was there as to tell the truth. So I was correcting things, which is also
Right. The sheriff's deputy is asking him what happened, and she's correcting him because he's lying to the sheriff's deputy.
oh, I'm just giving my side. Of
So
what I
anyway,
saw.
the thing I want to say is two things. Thank you to everybody. You hear about how people are in subways in New York City and somebody's getting attacked or beaten up and everybody's afraid to jump in. That night when we were there, everybody helped that guy or wanted to help the guy. And luckily,
and thank you to the people that picked up my purse because I just dropped it. And
of course, it had my phone in it. I would have lost everything in my phone. And thank you to the sheriff's deputies. All they did was, and the last thing we wanted them to have to do was fill out a report about some dumbass
kind of
that hit somebody for no apparent reason. There was just no reason to hit him. And it's just because you feel like you're a better person or a bigger person than somebody riding his bicycle that you think you need to teach how to speak English. It was totally bizarre, but it made for an interesting night. That's for sure. Nobody got hurt. And so the last thing is the sheriff's deputy said to me, hey, where's the guy that got hit? And I turned around and he was gone. He was like, he didn't even want any part of it. He just left.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Good job, dear. Good job. Good job. We didn't tell all of the details, but we're going to leave some of the details out. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us in this long, hour and 35-minute show. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to Nancy and Kelly. Thank you to Sam from the Octopus Museum. The Shell Museum over in Sanibel.
That has an octopus.
And Danielle Yoga Danielle.
And we did say hello to your brother. At the very beginning of the show, someone said, my brother is sitting there, say hello to him.
He's sitting where?
He was sitting there, the guy that you spoke to. But he since has left. But I wanted to assure the woman that we did say hello to her brother.
I don't know whose brother you're talking about. I thought you meant my brother.
Forget it.
There was somebody sitting there, but there's always somebody sitting there.
I know, and somebody watching
all right,
said,
dear,
my
let
brother
me say
is
goodbye to
sitting in
everybody.
front of
You're dismissed.
You are disoriented.
Goodbye, everybody. Download our app by going to your app store, whether it's on Apple or Android, and listen to the music. You can also see all the current news stories by just pressing play. We're working on Alexa. We'll let you know about that. Follow us on Facebook, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.